Welcome to Launching the Pilot with your hosts Kevin and Brian.
Hello and welcome to Launching the Pilot, episode 154. This time we're doing Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan.
Absolutely.
And I'm joined with Kevin again.
That's it. But I'm only back for the money.
Yeah. Money, you say? Mate, we'll talk afterwards. So this is last year Amazon Prime series.
Yeah.
Jack Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
Now, obviously, Jack Ryan is a famous Tom Clancy character.
Yes.
So, but this story is nothing to do with Tom Clancy, as far as I'm aware.
No, from what I can gather, because obviously I'm a big Tom Clancy fan, and I've read all of the books that feature, that he's written, everything he's written, even some of the non-fiction stuff, which was dry. but I really enjoyed it. So it was. The first time I watched this, it was really quite hard because it's only the names they're using. Everything else is they've tried to. I think they've tried to make it up to date, modern, because obviously the first time that Jack Ryan appears, I think, is in Patriot Games, and. That one, obviously, he's before he's a long time before he's CIA and things like this, and it goes to all the injuries that he has in this, but with different. It's all different. So it took a bit of a shift, but then I watched it again, and it was actually quite enjoyable. Yeah,
you'd think it didn't almost have to be Jack Ryan, did it?
No, it could have been anyone.
After they wanted to name Tom Clancy.
Absolutely they did, because it's like everything. It's like the video games, everything, like the Rainbow Six and all this. Like Tom Clancy's such and such, because he's got a big following in the books. They think, even a percentage of that would do as an audience for the first one, and maybe they pick some more up. They might lose some, but
it's obviously it's going on the name alone.
Absolutely, it's like Michael Crichton's ER.
Oh yeah, well famous.
Yeah, absolutely. But no, it's as I say, I quite enjoyed it. Once I'd got over the initial. Got over myself was probably the best way to put it, because I was I know certain things about the fictional character. Yeah. That's the other thing you have to remember. I know things about the fictional character that they didn't use in this programme, and I was sort of miffed. Well, I know that didn't happen in the book. But no, it's very good.
So Jack Ryan is John Krasinski, is it?
Yes. Yep.
And James Greer is Wendell Peace, I think it is.
Yep.
Or could be Pierce. I'm not sure I can read my writing.
Yeah, Wendell Pierce, who's was in The Wire.
All right, I haven't seen it. So
it worked. I've only seen bits of it, but I know that it had a massive following.
Oh yeah, it's big.
And he's been in quite a few things. I did note down a few things that he's been in. Mainly big TV things, but he was in sort of
notes. God, written notes.
I know. But he was in Bad Mums as the principal.
Okay.
Which obviously was quite big. But
Bad Mums, what you gonna do?
Yeah, that's the one. But apparently there was a TV series of The Odd Couple, and he was in that.
All right.
But obviously, mainly known for The Wire. But I did notice that his very first film credit was in a massive film. A proper Tom Hanks vehicle.
Oh right, yeah.
The Money Pit.
Oh yeah.
He played paramedic.
It was almost the starring part.
It was absolutely. He carried it off. Well, he carried someone off anyway.
And Shelley
Long.
Shelley Long, that's it.
Yes. I think
somewhere it's all in there, but it won't come out.
Yeah, no. It refuses to be released.
Yeah.
But Yeah, John Krasinski. Krasinski?
Krasinski, yeah.
Yeah.
Who's
Again,
married to Emily Blunt.
absolutely, yep. And was in
She's
with
not good
Emily.
enough for him.
Yeah. But he was in The Quiet Place.
He was with her, yeah.
Which obviously is a sort of like a fairly recent, massive film. But yeah, as your listener will be, no doubt hear, I'm going through my notes.
Yeah.
But yeah, apparently he was also considered for the role of Captain America.
Yes.
So, yeah, in the same way that I was once considered for something else.
It's like when you
Very briefly.
when all these people who were considered for Bond.
Yeah, absolutely.
Adam West, are you sure?
The legend in his own lunchtime. But no.
Brian Blessed.
Absolutely. But yeah. But also it had Michael Bay as producer,
Yes.
which, again, I don't know how much he had to do with it.
It looks very subtle for a Michael Bay production.
There wasn't any Transformers or sort of like monsters of any kind, so...
Get that shaky can.
Yeah.
So it starts Men Without Hats.
Absolutely, yes, for reasons best known to themselves. I expect probably to set the time.
Yeah, 1983, and we're in Lebanon.
Yep.
It was not a holiday place at the time.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't, which it previously had been. Obviously, it was. It was a massive. It was sort of like the playground of the Middle East,
Yes.
where everybody used to go for their gambling and drinking, fraternising. But
And we've got a boy and a girl. Then across the girl out, it's another boy. It wasn't easy to tell.
no, slight need of a haircut. Yeah, but yes, I got this. Men Without Hats.
And the boy's
safety
singing
dance.
along to it and entertaining the other boy, girl.
Yeah, that's it. He's dancing around.
But Mum comes in, chores.
Yeah,
Have you done your
chores,
chores? Come on.
chores.
And it's a big house. There's lots of family and friends. And
Yeah, so he runs past about a dozen people.
He
Doesn't
does, yeah. Cooking, and it's just, just a normal family, really.
Yeah.
Then they hear the planes flying up. I mean, they're feeding the chickens outside and stuff.
I've got that. I said chores, feeds chickens, falls over a bit and slapstick, and then the planes fly past.
That's it.
As they all do. It's a well-known fact that these planes that run bombing runs fly over where they're bombing first to have a look and wait.
Check,
Then they turn around and come back. Just so that everybody has a chance to get their sort of like their anti-aircraft fire going.
They're probably just checking the AA map.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, following landmarks, sat nav.
Is that the A143?
Yeah, as a little chef. As the bug.
And of course they blow everything up.
Absolutely everything. Yeah, you see them start bombing miles away, and by the time, you know that it's a program and it's still pretty sort of like horrific and grim. But the thing is, the kids don't have time to run up the garden before everything is obliterated.
Yeah, that's right. And then we're in today.
Yeah.
And I've got John Ryan is rowing.
Yeah.
For a reason.
Wow.
Then he's bike riding.
A body like that don't make itself.
That's how I did it.
Yeah. It shows.
Yeah.
But also, I think it was purely an exercise in so that you could see him getting changed, so you could see the scar down his back. Yeah.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Which, you do think when you've had your back completely operated on and fused together and things like that, rowing's probably not the thing that you'd be doing.
Though apparently it is.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, apparently.
Really? Okay.
Well, according to the facts online, if they can be trusted.
Facts. Take your facts. I don't deal in facts.
I mean, he was in the boat rowing by himself, just him alone.
That's right, yeah, single sculls.
Yes.
I'm reliably informed.
Okay.
But then, he gets changed and jumps on a push bike.
He does.
As if he wasn't fit enough.
Yeah.
I did. You saying about your facts online, I did notice that people said that he went from where he was, apparently where the boat club was on the river, to where he was going to Langley. He went about 9 miles out of his way to go past the landmarks that they showed in the film.
You have to show landmarks.
Yeah, absolutely.
How do you know where you are?
Yeah, absolutely.
You're not going to know you're in Washington, are you? Unless you see the landmarks.
Yep, that's it. We've got to get this location shoots in somehow.
Yeah.
But and then I've got, it goes, cycling, /road rage.
Yes. Because there's a car door opens.
Yep.
And he has to cycle around it, and then the other car almost hits him.
Yep.
And this guy shouts at him, doesn't he?
Yep, absolutely. Yep, he's yep. I got the guy sort of like leans out of his window and shouts at him rather rudely.
Yes.
And then Jack's a bit more refined and just says arsehole under his breath.
Yes, he does.
And then we cut to him. He must be running late because he goes
late to the meeting, isn't he?
He throws his bike in the rack and then he goes running off into Langley.
Yeah.
Which obviously is their headquarters.
Yeah, it's Terror Finance.
Yeah, counter terror. I've got this. It's parks bike runs into Langley. Counter terror finance and arms department or division or something like that. I can't remember.
I must have missed that bit. I've only got Terror Finance and Arms Division. I thought that's where they sold it.
Right. Next door to Greg's.
Yeah. But it was the shop bit.
Yeah. That's it. So he arrives late at the meeting. And somebody throws in, "Oh, what, are you working on Yemeni time?"
That's it.
A bit of light relief.
Yeah,
and then
I put it when I was watching it. I was watching it with subtitles because some bits just missed. I completely missed them.
Yeah,
so I had to rewind and thought, "Oh, I'll have the subtitles on. This could be easier."
yeah, because it is. I did find that the sound was a bit. With different people were talking, you couldn't work out who was saying what to who. You know, in the meeting environment.
Yes, so, especially then. Yeah.
So, but then I've got after that I've put. His stalker smiles at him.
Yes.
It's the first time you see her, but if she's not a stalker, then...
Are you referring to...
Go on, cue it.
A woman?
You said it, sir.
Indeed. Yes, it was a woman.
She's definitely got fluttery eyes at him.
Oh, God, yeah, it's...
I mean, she always had the "I love you" bit on the...
Yeah, absolutely. Every time she
Indiana Jones,
But yes, I put stalker smiles, and then it cuts to the reception.
Yes.
Where...
Greer. Yeah, he's in a meeting.
Yeah, basically he's sitting in a reception area, isn't he?
He's
waiting to get called into the office, where he's the atypical scene of everybody else thinks you should be sacked, but I'm the only one that stood up for you. Don't screw it up for me.
That's the meeting. That's the meeting.
Yeah.
How's your wife? We're separated.
Yeah. How's your luck?
So it's not going all bad for him.
No, I was going to say.
And he said that Taffid, or something, they put him in, that's what the Terror Finance and Arms Division.
Okay, yeah. Well,
you put him in charge of it.
That's the benefit of subtitles, because I've missed that completely.
Yeah.
But and there's veiled references as to why he's had this work time off. He's been fishing, he's done this, he's done that, and then
it's a backwater post. It's a dead end job.
Basically, he's been pulled back to the ranch.
Yes, that's what they go on about, that sort of stuff, don't they?
Yeah, for now.
Jim, have a seat. So, how was your leave?
Long. I took a boat out to Nag's Head, did some fishing.
Sounds calming.
Mm-hmm.
How's Jasmine?
I wouldn't know. I've only seen her once, at a lawyer's.
Oh, sorry, you still have a ring on. I thought maybe the two of you were trying to work it out. This is the raid book that the outgoing chief T-Fed had to make for you. The group is mostly analysts, a couple of case officers. You'll have reps from Treasury and Justice. No one you'd know. Jim, it is what you make of it.
It's a backwater post, Nate. And we both know it.
It's a second chance. The one, frankly, that not a lot of people on this floor felt you deserved. No.
Jack Ryan's still in the meeting, but now Greer enters.
Yes, and says that he's their new boss.
Yeah, he's the new head.
And obviously
It was everyone to
recognises it.
introduce themselves.
Yeah.
And Greer and sorry, Ryan's looking a bit.
A bit sheepish, yeah. So the first two go up and say who they are.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
No, I didn't write it down. It's just too. I didn't really care. To be
And
honest.
so without looking up, Greer says, "Right, what about you, Lance Armstrong?"
That's it, yeah. This is Yemen, and is watching the transactions in Yemen and stuff.
Yeah, that's right. And Greer makes it quite obvious that he's got his card marked because
Yes.
the others have had not a question over anything they're doing. And he says what he's doing, goes to sit down, and he says, "And then what?
And what?
And what?
And what?
And
what
what?
else?" Yeah.
And then
Theory about high-level targets and transactions. A name called Suleiman.
yeah, he says all his work points to this new person named Suleiman.
Which means man of peace.
Man of peace, absolutely. But Greer seems unimpressed.
He does.
And he says, "Who knew a Bin Laden on my first day?"
Yeah.
I knew Bin Laden on my first day.
Yeah.
Out.
Where can we get that from?
OSD should have it up online.
Morning.
And
I'm James Greer. I'm your new group chief.
Oh, shit. He was chief of station in Karachi.
Why don't we go around the table? Just stand up, introduce yourselves, and tell me what you're working on. Let's start with you.
Hi, sir. I'm Tarek Kassar. I work PAD. Currently, I'm tracking SIGINT in the region, trying to get coverage on the Hawala networks out of Islamabad.
Very well.
Noreen Yang, I work Europe. We just completed our second round of analysis on SWIFT transactions based on liaison data from French and Belgian assets, sir.
Your turn, Lance Armstrong.
Jack Ryan. I work Yemen. I've been monitoring SWIFT network transactions in and around Aden.
And?
Well, actually, in the last few months, I have red flagged several of these transactions as potentially suspicious.
Suspicious. How so?
It's anomalous to see large one-off SWIFT transactions to individuals, especially in Yemen. And normal SWIFT transactions usually occur in patterns.
What's your concern? What's that issue?
It is my theory that the individual behind these transactions could be a high-level target.
Which one?
Well, now that I'm not necessarily clear.
Who is he?
I believe his name is Suleiman. It means man of peace. He just popped up on CTC Yemen's radar. The RH assets have mentioned him as well, so.
That's it? They heard a name. What else have they said?
It's not about what they're saying, sir. It's about how they're saying it. I mean, they're talking about this guy with real reverence. And I'm not talking sectarianism. I mean, he appeals to Shia and Sunni.
Wow. A brand new Bin Laden on my first day. Who would have thunk it?
So then, it goes on to gossiping halls where they speculate as to why Greer's there.
That's right.
And there's chat about what had happened in Karachi and Pakistan and things like this.
Yes.
Stuff that had been going
You
on.
have to do something really bad to get sent back.
Oh, absolutely.
That's what they're saying.
Yeah. They don't seem to realise that they're there.
No. yeah.
Yeah. Oh, how bad must you be to work here? Oh.
Because he was overseas, he was high level, he was in charge.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Of a
He
compound
was a
or
section
something.
head. Yeah, he was a section head. So,
and they're just there to steal toner. So.
pretty much, pretty much. They do the coffee runs.
So I've got a woman playing football.
Yep.
With kids.
Oh, what?
Sorry, yeah, I can do that. Yeah.
A woman? You said it, sir.
I think you'll find that she was just passing the ball to the boys so that they could play football.
Yeah.
Every time it came towards her, she just gave it back to them. But
These are obviously her kids. I think she's Syrah or I might have written that down wrong.
Syrian?
Syrian, maybe. Yeah, it's in Syria, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not her name at all.
No.
If she was called Syria and lived in Syria,
I'm sure it'll disappear in the edit.
Yeah.
But yes, and then
there's lots of armed men standing around watching them.
Yeah, that's it. They sort of like you can't tell whether they're sort of like guarding them or
holding them.
Yeah, and just sort of like they're on their exercise period.
Yeah.
But then I've got there's a convoy rocks up full of bad men.
They look very bad.
Yeah, the lead. I've got the leader looks a bit sneery.
He does, doesn't he?
Yeah,
and he wants to see Suleiman, but he's not there.
He's not there. No.
He said, "Oh, Suleiman said we can stay here."
Yeah.
I'll check your reservation, sir, on that one.
Absolutely. But then, he drops off a stranger.
He does. Who isn't from that part of the country.
No. And I put an asterisk here because for some reason he's got a really familiar face.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And so, if you'll forgive me for a second, I'll tell you why he's familiar. I did write down somewhere what he's in, but he's one of the. I think he's the stereotypical Eastern European terrorist type because I believe it was Taken he was in.
Oh, right.
His name's Goran Kostic. He was in Taken, Hannibal Rising, Ant-Man and the Wasp, The Deep, the 2010 version, Of Gods and Men, Children and Men, Band of Brothers, Sword of Honour, with Daniel Craig.
Oh, right.
And it goes right to New Tricks, The Bill, Spooks, Foyle's War, Casualty, and EastEnders.
So an A-lister.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's an A-lister.
Him and Anita Dobson, like that. But it's like they say, everybody's an actor's been in the bill at some point.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He must have done Game of Thrones by now.
Oh, I would have thought
otherwise
so.
he's not an actor.
Yeah.
Now, I've got Jack Ryan's at home. He gets a phone call from Joe. Joe wants to speak. Doesn't want to speak on the phone. He's in his private jet.
Yeah.
And he wants him to go to his birthday bash.
Absolutely, yeah. He's just touting for a present, I think.
Yeah, I think that's how it works, isn't it?
Yeah. And then, it cuts to, there's a metronome.
Yes.
And he's laying there awake, staring at the fan, and you're getting the old flashback type music atmosphere.
But you don't really see anything. It's so flashy-backy.
No, yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's and then he looks at the clock, and it's like 4:47.
Yes.
So next thing you know, he's at work.
He's at work early.
Yeah. So he starts trying to wallpaper his computer with post-it notes.
Yeah, yes.
And then he makes little blocks of them again. I don't know why he tore them off in the first place. They come ready squared.
Yes, they do.
But yeah,
he wants to see Greer.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Stalker turns up.
Yes,
with muffins and coffee
for him. She does.
She does.
That's the sort of stalker you want, though.
Absolutely, yeah, yeah. Perhaps she's a feeder. But yeah, then he wants to see Greer, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And then
there's a shell company, and it's like $9 million has gone from these accounts he's watching
in 6 transactions.
Yeah. And he wants to freeze the account and stop it there. It's big.
And going back to the earlier meeting, he said this really could be a sort of like a new Bin Laden. If we'd known this 20 years ago, we could have done this. And
9/11 cost $500,000.
Yeah.
Just what they could do with $9 million.
Yeah, exactly.
It's inflation and stuff.
Yeah,
now,
absolutely. So. Yeah, well, it's only worth £2.50 now, isn't it? But yeah, he knocks him back, doesn't he?
Yeah, Greer says you're not there yet.
Yeah, you're not there yet, and that's it. Yeah. And
but
you gotta see.
What am I looking at?
These are financial transactions through an app called Track Euro. You use your cell phone.
Yeah, they were used down in Karachi before I left.
Every one of these transactions is linked to this account. Opened a week and a half ago in a bank in Aden by a Saudi import-export company. But the business license of that company is less than a month old. There's a shell.
Okay.
So, 6 SWIFT transactions have come through in the last 8 days. They total over $9 million. Of all the other accounts that I've been monitoring, only 2 have ever gone above 6 figures, and barely.
Large transactions attract attention. Why go big now and risk popping up on our radar?
Maybe he doesn't even care about drawing attention because whatever he's planning, he's ready now. This is it. We got him.
You mean Suleiman?
Sir, he's real. I promise you he is real. Don't you think there are people on the 7th floor that would have loved this opportunity 20 years ago, the first time they heard the name Bin Laden? All I'm asking is order a demarche. Freeze the account.
You're not there yet.
I'm not there yet.
Greer's still thinking about it because he's starting to make calls and stuff.
Yeah, he makes a phone call, doesn't he?
But
But then, yeah, it cuts back to the desert house again.
Yeah. Suleiman's wife, I've got.
Yeah, we assume it's Suleiman's wife.
Yeah.
But yeah,
she's made some tea.
Made some tea. Yeah, she goes downstairs, and there's a massive stockpile of guns and things like that.
Computers and everything.
Loads and loads of computers, really up to date stuff. And in the background, it looks like they're making some sort of high tech. Yeah, it looks like high tech Molotov cocktails, isn't it?
It
Because
does.
he's got bottles and he's dropping like a test tube thing
Tiny
in there,
things into
and then
them.
doing it back up. Yeah. So, and then it cuts back to the office again.
Yeah, and now Jack Ryan gets Teresa, stalker.
The stalker. he starts doing his bit of reverse psychology on it. Oh yeah, they're saying you can't do anything. You know, it's not like
Let's say your department's not important.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything. You know, if only you had something to do like this, for instance. But we're not allowed to do that. Yeah, that's what I said. But
Yeah.
they think you're rubbish.
But she freezes the account,
Absolutely.
and she's very excited about doing it.
Oh yes, she has a little sort of air punch to herself, doesn't she?
Is that it? Just by sending an email, that's all she's done.
Yeah, that's it. Well, you go and try use your card in the canteen. Frozen, mate.
I don't know. What about Greer?
You don't work for Greer. Treasury's its own thing. Honestly, though, I don't want you to do it if you're uncomfortable. I don't know, I get so frustrated when people think Treasury doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
It's sad.
Okay. Let's do it. Was awesome.
Was that it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's it.
Good job.
Thank you.
Are we in Syria again? I've got.
Yeah, it's dinner time.
The kids are playing and they're drawing chalk outlines around themselves.
Yeah, that's
It's
it.
just and the mum's going, oh dear.
Yeah, you get a bit of atmospheric music again, and then it cuts to the loaded lorry with all the bombs and
going on,
everything
going
made,
off.
driving off.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Then it cuts back to the office. Greer's answering his phone, and he calls in
Ryan into his
doesn't
office.
he? Yeah, into his office because someone says that they got some results from the freeze that he ordered.
Yes.
And he said, well, I didn't order any freeze. And he looks across the office, and it's like Principal Skinner, isn't it?
It is. Seymour!
Yeah, so he calls Ryan in to sort of like to give him a bit of a basically a
dressing down, isn't
yeah,
it?
proper dressing down.
I mean, I don't know why they do it in the office because everyone can hear.
Yeah, absolutely. There's lots of sweary language.
Yes, lots and lots.
Lots and lots.
Ryan, my office now. Shut the door. I told you to stand up, down, and you went behind my back and froze that account.
That was Treasury's call.
Oh, bullshit!
The ink on that demarche may be theirs, but this was your idea.
Listen, if you're worried about this blowing back on you, don't. Okay, I'll take full responsibility.
Oh, is that what you think? I'm trying to protect my career? Look around. That ship has sailed. And let me ask you something. You've been doing this for how long?
Almost 4 years.
Oh, almost 4 years. Holy shit. That's like, wow. I am impressed.
Now let's say that you're actually right. And Suleiman or Casper the Friendly Ghost or whoever actually exists. What do you think he does when he finds out a state entity has frozen his bank account? He cuts bait and you get nothing.
How many people you know walk away from $9 million? That money means everything to him.
I agree. Which is why we could have sat on that bank, tracked every courier who came and went, and wrapped up the whole goddamn network.
Yeah. Or we could have just watched the front door of the bank while they walked out, pulled off the next 9/11, and we didn't do a thing.
Get out of my office.
And then it's back to Yemen again.
We're in Yemen, yeah, and the CIA undercover. I'm guessing it's the CIA. I think it was.
Oh yeah,
they're watching a bank manager having a meeting.
Yeah,
with two guys.
Yeah, they follow him from the bank.
Yeah.
To the through the market, so that we get a bit of flavour that they're not actually in America anymore.
Yeah.
You know, despite the fact that they're wearing sort of like shamags and things like that. And then they follow him to a cafe where he meets two other guys.
Yeah.
One in a suit and one in a leather jacket.
That's it, yeah.
And then I've got magic pen microphone.
That's it, it is indeed.
Yeah, because they send. He wants audio, so they send.
Who do they send?
Who do they send?
They send
a woman. You said it, sir.
They
never gets old.
No.
But yeah, they send her, so she pretends to do some work while waving his
a pen in their general
around.
direction.
And he's complaining about the quality of the audio, but I think then they pan around and there's
it's because she's using it to stir a tea.
Yeah, yeah, basically. But yeah, so, and there's somebody upstairs, there's a sniper on them and everything, but then the meeting starts to break up. So
they said, "What should we do? Should we let them go? Should we?" Take them?
And he says, "No, we'll take them.
We'll tag them. We'll bag them. You know,
bag them.
Yeah,
We'll bag them.
Bag them. That's it. And they zap them and throw them in the back of the van, just like that.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah.
Now Gear's checking. No, we're back with Greer, and he's checking out Jack Ryan's record, isn't he?
Absolutely, yeah. He's going through. He's got all his pictures of him in his dress uniform that he's passing out parade.
He was a Marine, I think, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. Again, you know, it's bits that are true to the original story, but yeah, and then they've got him in his battle dress as well.
Yeah,
all that, and he's just going through his work history, I think.
Then Pete phones back. Apparently, it was Pete on the phone before.
Oh, Pete. Oh, right, okay. Yeah.
Now we've got Jack Ryan's at the party.
Yes.
And Joe wants to see him, wants to know about his North Korean investments.
Yeah.
But Jack Ryan says that's like insider trading. I can't help you.
I can't tell you. He says, I'm not asking you. He says, all I want is just tell me whether it's any good or not.
Yeah.
So that's insider trading then. And then he gets, his ex-boss gets all sniffy because he won't tell him. And they have a bit of a to-do.
Yes, they do.
And he says, you know, you'll regret this one day, blah, 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 blah. And then he goes across to get a drink.
And he says, what a
arseholes.
Something like that. And then this girl's there and he's chatting to her. And she's Kathy Muller, who's Joe's Muller's daughter.
Yeah, that's it, absolutely. Kathy Muller, who's actually his wife.
A woman? You said it, sir.
She's a doctor.
She is. Yes, she is a doctor.
They can do so much now.
Absolutely, yeah. I know.
But yeah, she's going to be his wife in later books, isn't she? In the books, she is.
Well, yeah.
But this is all out of place.
Yeah, it's all out of sync. And as I said, that's what threw me the first time I watched it. But the second time, I actually quite enjoyed it. But yeah, it goes.
Because she's a doctor and he says, I work for the State Department.
He organises the stationery and things like that for the West Coast. Cue helicopter.
So Coast Guard helicopter flies in and they start shouting, Ryan, Dr. Ryan.
Yeah, lands in the middle of the party.
It says, give your keys to this.
Yeah, to who?
To a
woman. You said it, sir.
She's going to drive your car home. You're coming with us.
I'm surprised that he didn't say, she's going to drive my car. Could we not leave it to the apes and thieves? Might be safer. But yeah, no, it's Yeah, so he gets picked up.
You heard that?
Just the last part. I especially liked it when he called you a self-righteous Boy Scout.
Well, at least I'm not an asshole, right?
Fair enough.
I'm Jack.
Kathy.
Kathy. Kathy Mueller. Oh no, you are Joe's daughter.
Have we met?
Not technically, no. Joe used to have a picture of you behind his desk. I think you graduated med school. Your hair was longer then. Listen to what I said about your dad.
Being an asshole, don't worry about it.
So, are you a doctor? Whereabouts?
Washington Memorial, I specialize in infectious diseases.
Wow, that sounds...
Disgusting.
A little bit.
And what about you?
State Department. I run supply chain logistics for the Western Hemisphere.
That sounds...
Boring?
Dr. Ryan! Dr. Ryan! Dr. Ryan! I'm Petty Officer, second class Dillard with the United States Coast Guard. I need you to come with me.
Sir, I need your keys.
What?
I have orders to drive your car back to your apartment.
Okay. Hold on one sec. I don't know, maybe I could...
Sir, we have to go.
Yeah.
All this way. Right in here, sir.
And he gets taken to sort of like an Air Force or Navy air base, and then Greer tells him that he's going to Yemen.
Yemen, yeah.
So, and he said...
They said they picked up a couple of low-level guys, but it's about your money.
Yeah, about your money
stuff.
thing. The surveillance has pulled up. And he said, well, there wasn't any surveillance. You said I weren't there yet. And he said, you weren't, but I ordered it anyway.
Yes.
So they're going for questioning. They're questioning these guys, but they need him.
It's a compound,
to know,
isn't it?
Yeah, to know the questions that they have got to answer. So, yeah.
It says what they suspect is this guy is the man, and this is his bodyguard. You know.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. And next thing they're landing out of another helicopter. They get into the jet, then they in another helicopter. And they land at a CIA rendition camp in the middle of the desert.
Yeah.
And as they step off the helicopter, this guy comes over and he reminisces and talks with Greer about where they've served together and things like this.
Yeah, they don't know each other, don't they?
Yeah, a bit of reminiscence.
Yeah.
And that's apparently Matisse.
Oh, right, okay.
I think he's going to be a recurring character because you get to know his name.
It's always a good sign.
Yeah. So then Matisse asks who Ryan is, and Ryan says that he's... he asked what his doctorate's in, and he said it's in economics.
Yeah, that's it.
So he then asks him for stocks and shares tips.
Yeah. We've got a truck approaches, but it's okay. The guy knows them. He says it's all right. I'll speak to him.
I've got a bit. I've got a bit before that. They go into the cell block and there's hooded men.
Oh yeah, I've got
that are sort of like that handcuffed and everything, and they're playing really loud country music. Torture. But and
they've been interrogating for hours.
Yeah, and they reckon it's the Saudi and his bodyguard.
Yeah,
and then they mention something about his phone. One of them had a phone.
Yes, that's it.
So Ryan says he wants the phone, so they give him the phone. He dials his own number in it.
Yeah.
And it comes up with a number, and he says, well, this is the phone that was used to make the transactions.
That's it, yeah.
So then it goes, they then get a bit more serious, and they pick up the guy that is the boss, the one in the suit.
Yeah.
And they take him off for further questioning
separate them now,
in the big room.
In the big interrogation room.
Yeah. So then Ryan goes outside for some air, doesn't he? He says he's going out for some air. Then it cuts to outside, and then
now we have the trucker approaching.
Yeah, that's right. You have the bit of a convoy pulls up.
Yes.
And
but they know them, so they're not that worried.
Yeah.
And they've brought some dead people.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So you can put these off your list.
Yeah.
So they pay them for the bodies.
Yeah, they buy the bodies off them.
They go put them in the cooler.
Yeah. So then you got. It cuts inside, and Ryan's playing good cop with the bodyguard guy.
Yeah. Good cop.
Absolutely. Yeah. So he brings him some sort of like bread or something, and some food and water, and he refuses to touch it at first. So Ryan says, it's not poisoned or anything.
Not drugged.
So he swaps him over.
Yeah.
He's already been drinking and eating his, and he swaps over. So anyway, the guy then, the bodyguard starts drinking.
Because they're not really interested in the bodyguard. He's just a man for hire. So what's the point?
No, that's right. But I think Ryan has got a suspicion
that the bodyguard knows more.
He knows more because he says something about when he was talking in there and he mentioned the transactions. This guy looked at him, so he said, "You obviously speak some English.
You speak English, and the other guy doesn't speak any.
You understand me now."
Yeah.
And he still doesn't say anything. But then it cuts to the outside where the guards are taking the bodies
in the cooler.
Inside, putting them, they put them in the cooler area, the fridge area, whatever, for the doctor to look at, and then they leave, and we go back then to Ryan, who's got this guy's name is Sufyan.
Yes, something like that. Yeah. Yeah. And he's speaking English now with him, isn't he?
Yeah, he's speaking English to him, and then that Sufyan obviously drops something because he says Ryan says something about him being in Lebanon.
Yeah.
And this Sufyan sort of like jolts and stares at him, and he also notices his hands are all really badly scarred.
Yes.
The other men were Beanie. How do you know him?
He's my client.
You work for him a lot?
First time.
What do you know about him?
Usually I don't talk much to my client.
But you do listen. Sufyan, have you ever heard the name Suleiman?
It's a common name here. I'm afraid you'll have to be more specific.
Now what? And then it goes back again to the guards.
Yeah, the cooler guy.
Yeah, into the cooler. That's right. Sorry. Yeah.
And one of the dead guys is not so dead.
No. Yes, he's playing possum.
He's got the Hannibal Lecter face on top of his face.
Yeah, that's it. And bits of guts and everything hanging out of his shirt.
Not these.
No, but I think he's got bits hanging out, and then when they go, he throws all that off, and he goes across, and he feels around, and there's one that's been stitched from like rib cage down to groin, and he tears open all the stitches and pulls out a big plastic bag with a gun that's all broken down in it.
Grenades, everything.
Yeah,
his other bodies have got.
Yeah. He's got all that hidden in there, so he's putting all that together, and then
And he asks. Jack Ryan's asking this guy, "Do you know who Solomon is?"
And he sort of like blows it off. He's sort of like, "No, never heard of him." And
then we've got the trucks and lorries. They're driving back up again.
Yeah, there's just one on its own this time, isn't there?
And he's saying, "What do you want now? More money, probably."
He wants more money. Yeah. And then it revs up and starts driving towards the gates.
And they realise they react quite fast now.
Yeah,
don't
they shoot sort of like they shoot masses of holes in this thing, kill the driver. But obviously it's remote control because somebody
blows it,
and it destroys the gates and the bits of the wall and things like that. So then all the rest of them start rocking up.
Yeah, and they've got the cooler guy heads for the cells.
Yeah,
because that's right. So just call him the cooler guy.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do work out from the ensuing firefight.
Yeah,
that the CIA can't shoot very well.
No,
they've got people about 12 feet away from them. They miss a lot. But the terrorist guys seem to knock more CIA out than the other way round. And then it goes back to the inside of the Greer's out there as well, isn't he?
Yeah, he's gone out there.
He's gone out there with Matisse. So
guards,
there's literally just a couple of guards and Ryan and this Sufyan, who's handcuffed. He's moved his handcuffs, isn't he? He's handcuffed him to the table now so that he could eat.
Yeah.
But he's the other guy, the one that was a body, as
cooler guy.
Yeah, cooler guy. As goes to the block
and catches the soldiers, doesn't he?
Yeah, he shoots one.
Yeah, and captures another.
And captures the other one.
And says, "Take me to the man.
Take me to the."
So they take him to the guy in the suit.
Yeah,
and he just shoots him.
He just shoots him. And says, "No, not him. The other one.
The other guy."
Yeah. So he goes back to the firefight outside, and Matisse and Greer and a few others are sort of advancing, and
they're starting to win the gate battle.
Yeah, but then somebody RPGs the tower.
Yes.
So they blow the tower up with the guards in that. So then they say I'm sure they say something about the armoured car, getting into an armoured car.
Yes, they do.
An APC,
that's it, yeah.
And then it goes back to the cells, and in the cell that Ryan hears them coming and hides behind the door.
Yeah.
And then as the guard comes through the door, and Sufyan, or I think it is Sufyan, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's sitting there and he shouts that Ryan's behind the door.
Something in Arabic, yeah.
So the guy, the cooler guy, shoots the guard.
Yeah.
And Ryan slams the door on him.
Yes.
Rips the gun out of his hands, and they have a bit of a wrestle.
There's
a bit of a tussle.
Tussle. There is a tussle.
And then, in typical fashion, they're sort of like delivering punches that would pretty much incapacitate anybody. Smashing heads against walls, things like this, and they're still going. And then the cooler guy gets a knife off the body of the guard.
He does.
And slashes Ryan across the stomach.
Yes, he does indeed.
And then the prisoners, in this time, the Sufyan is trying to get the gun with his foot.
Yes.
That's on the floor. He's trying to get that with his foot, and it cuts back outside.
Yeah, it does for a brief bit. It's very
it's very bitty, and there's a bit of and it goes back outside. Greer's shoots a couple of people, and then they get to the APC, so it looks like they're starting to get on top.
Yeah.
Then it cuts back to the cell.
Yeah.
And it's gone to a bit of a Mexican standoff.
That's right, because Ryan's grabbed a grenade off the dead guard.
Yeah, Ryan's got a grenade in his hand.
Yeah.
And the cooler guy has got the gun and he's pointing it at him. And Ryan says basically, well, you shoot me if you like, but I'll drop this.
We'll all die.
And we'll all die.
He goes, not bluffing, because he's got the pin out.
He's got the pin in his other hand. So then Sufyan says, don't shoot him.
Yeah.
But get the keys off the guard. So they keep him covered. And
now the bodyguard is Suleiman, didn't they? We're working out now.
Yeah.
Of course, because when they go back out, they climb over the wall.
But they've done all that, and then all of a sudden it goes. They go out and they go through the world's sort of like thinnest metal door, and they don't shoot him through the door or anything.
No,
because they shut the door behind them, so any grenade blast is going to be in the room.
Yeah.
But anyway, they disappear, and then it cuts back to the outside, and you see that the terrorists are starting to
back off,
and they're getting back in their trucks and they're doing a runner. Then it cuts to Suleiman and the Sufyan and the bloke who's. Well, we know he's Suleiman now, but and the other guy that's was the cooler guy are climbing over the wall at the back.
There's a little bit of rope falls over,
and the razor wire is all cut out, and it's about 7 foot tall.
Yeah. Now this is impossible because there's no physical way a human could climb a rope.
No, no, I refuse to believe it. But so they go over the wall, and then.
Ryan puts the pin back in.
Yeah, that's it. Ryan puts the pin back in and then sort of like slumps to the floor, sort of thing.
Oh, yeah.
He's done in.
Yeah.
Then it cuts. The terrorists have driven around the other side of the compound.
Yes, to pick these guys up.
These two jump in, and then they have a hug.
Yes.
I put hugs. And then it cuts the flashback, aftermath of bombing at the beginning.
1983 again,
Yeah, and the two boys are the only survivors left in the house.
And the younger boy's trapped under
a burning beam sort of thing. So the older ones come running in,
and he's
lifted it all off, which has burnt all his hands. The younger lads, all his knees and everything, all skin.
That's what the scars are from on his hands.
That's what the scars are, and that's where
they weren't the brothers. At that time.
That's absolutely. So it's his brother who's come and got him, and they have exactly the same hug there. And then it goes back to the present.
Yeah.
And it's all the sort of like the silhouettes against the night sky, and then there's Greer comes forward. Then Ryan comes past and gives it the old stoic look into the distance.
There's that.
It's sort of like it's almost shaking his fist
as they follow the lights off into the distance.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you see the terrorist vehicles disappearing.
And that was the first episode.
It was. It was action packed.
That was quite something for a first episode, wasn't it?
It was. But I mean, they had every confidence in it because I did read that they commissioned the second series before the first series had even aired.
Yes, they have. Yeah.
Yeah. So they knew that they were running with it, and they thought it was a fairly sort of. Again, I'd imagine the Clancy name has
helped.
Yeah, helped massively.
I did watch this last year. I watched it all over a weekend.
Yeah?
Yeah, well, I built a Lego temple.
Another story, darling.
Yeah. I've got a few little bits that they call, they don't say what it is because they refer to Greer as PNG. Persona non grata.
Oh, right, okay.
It's really hard to pick up, but it is there somewhere.
Okay.
Jack was a Marine for 6 years, apparently.
Yeah. In the books, originally, in the books, he gets injured while he was, he'd been in the regular army, he becomes a Marine, and he gets injured in a training exercise, and he completely wrecks his back. So then he goes from doing that, he gets married, he works for Kathy's dad, and then he makes loads and loads of money, but his real passion is history. So he goes to teach history.
That's right.
At university, and that's where he goes. They're doing a fact-finding trip to England.
Yes.
And that's where he foils the terrorist attempt on Charles and Diana in Patriot Games.
Patriot Games, clear and present danger, weren't they? Patriot Games.
Yeah, clear and present, because it's during Patriot Games that he gets recruited to work for the CIA.
Yeah.
Because he goes back to Annapolis, I think it is, where he was. Again, this is we can veer off massively, but yeah, he gets recruited into the CIA, and from the CIA that goes on to Clear and Present Danger, but also The Hunt for Red October.
Yes,
he's in that, which again was supposed to be set in the 70s, I believe.
Yeah, I think that's the only book I've read about Jack Ryan. That one.
Yeah, but he does Clear and Present Danger. He also does. Sum of All Fears.
Yeah.
He becomes president eventually.
That's just like you do.
There's lots of them.
It's more believable than they've got today. Isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Here you go. Here's a little test for you. Can you name all the actors who have played Jack Ryan on the big screen?
Well, there's Alec Baldwin's the first one.
Yes.
Hunt for Red October.
Correct.
There was Harrison Ford played him 2 or 3 times. 2 times. After that, obviously there's this guy, John.
Yeah, whatever. We've got Ben Affleck.
Of course,
Sum of All Fears.
Sum of All Fears. That's right. Yeah.
And a more recent one was Chris Pine.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh right. Okay. What was that in?
Film.
Yeah.
Kevin Costner was in it as well.
Was he?
He was Greer. No. I was just trying to think what it's called, because my mind's gone blank of because the actress in it is she was in Pirates of the Caribbean.
Pirates.
Yeah. Bending Like Beckham.
Yeah. Keira Knightley.
Keira Knightley.
Twice Nightly.
Yeah, twice. Keira Knightley always plays Keira Knightley in everything I've seen her in.
Absolutely. She does it very well.
She takes me out of any film she's won because I think, oh, that's Keira Knightley.
Yeah. One of the most unconvincing football players you'll ever see in your life, but no, she does it very well, and she's making a good.
She didn't even bend it like Beckham.
No. She didn't even bend it like me. But yeah, no,
just a quick look up of that Chris Pine one.
Yeah.
He was in Star Trek. Shadow Recruit. That's what it's called.
Oh, that must be one of the Rainbow Six ones, is it?
I have no idea. It's called Jack Ryan Shadow Recruit.
Okay, yeah, I would imagine that's one of the later series, but I've never heard of it.
They could have just made it up.
But like I say, you know, it was enjoyable.
It was, yeah.
It was enjoyable. It was quite well done. You could see that they, you know, there was a sort of like quality cast to it.
Oh yeah, they spent money on it, hadn't they?
They had spent some money on it. It got 5 directors.
Yeah.
For one reason or another, it had 5 directors. It had
I suppose in
about 7 or 8
locations.
I would imagine. Yeah.
Because obviously they had to do 8 episodes. They filmed all at one time, and obviously bits they needed.
Yeah. No, it's it showed. It was well done. It was well done. As I said, you know, once I got past my initial thing with the character,
it's hard, isn't it?
Yeah, because the first one I watched it, the first time I watched it all the way through, and it was just, I was still fuming.
No, I thought he was a good Jack Ryan.
He was very good, Jack Ryan.
Obviously, a little too handsome.
That's it, yeah. Too rugged for my taste. but it was very well done. You could see, like we said, they've spent some money. It was very well done, and I'm not surprised that it was successful as a series. Yeah. I will probably go and watch the rest of them now.
Yeah, I was going to say, because I watched the first one, I thought it's a little bit talky at the beginning. If you get, because I figured they're just going to lay all the groundwork.
Isn't it? Yeah,
but then suddenly at the end you get massive action.
Absolutely, yeah, lots of action, and I don't. Obviously, I haven't seen it, so I don't know. But yeah, I suppose the first series is all this hunt for Suleiman Hunt and getting rid of Suleiman and things like that, is it? And then they go on to something else?
Yeah, I'm guessing that's what's going to happen in the next series. Yeah, because this is just the Suleiman.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, no, as I say,
and of course it leads them back to America because that's where the bomb's going. But
okay.
It's like Sum of All Fear, sort of. You know, you're thinking.
Yes. Is Sum of All Fears, that's the one with the
nuclear bomb at the stadium.
Nuclear bomb, yeah, and also there's
a dirty bomb.
Yes, it is, and it doesn't go off properly, does it?
No,
it's a fizzle. But isn't that also the one where they try the Ebola?
Yes, it might be. Yeah.
They go to the gun convention or something like that, don't they? And they've got these aerosols that. The books are quite horrible sometimes. They're quite graphic.
Yes,
and I think this.
I've read Rainbow Six. So.
Yeah, but the one I can't even remember if it's the right one, but it does start with it's a hospital in the middle of Africa somewhere. And it's the middle of an Ebola outbreak, and to put it bluntly, what they're doing is they're waiting for people to die, and then they're stealing the bodies, draining them of all the blood.
That's right. Yeah, and I don't think that's in the film. I think it is the book.
The book is, yeah.
Because I definitely remember reading all that.
Yeah,
is that Rainbow Six?
No, it's one of the, because it ends up with 2 characters who also appear in a few of the Ryan books, who are John Clark.
That's what I was trying to think of.
And
John Clark.
Ding Chavez, who was one of the ones in Clear and Present Danger. He was one of the ones that was inserted into Columbia.
Yeah.
He was one of the ones that got out, and he works with Clark, and they're sort of like American wet work. Yeah,
because William Dafoe was the Clark.
Yeah, William Dafoe did play Clark.
Yeah.
In that one in. Clear and Present Danger.
Yeah, it's Clear and Present Danger, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no, so well written, well acted. Yeah, they spent a few quid on it. It looks really good.
In the style of the Clark.
Yeah. They, I think apart from the names and a very, very brief potted history that they've messed about with, it's the same characters. But no, it was very good.
What would you give it out of 10 for a pilot?
again, you know, I would say it's a solid 8.
Yeah, I've gone 8 as well, straight in there.
Oh, 7.5 then.
It's already written down.
Oh, dang.
And while you're here, I might as well ask, because we didn't score Remo.
Oh, Remo?
Prophecy.
What, out of 10?
Yeah.
Again, it was enjoyable, but probably for the wrong reasons, so I'd say about 6.
6, this is a fair score.
Yeah.
I'll give it a 6 as well.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, the thing that I really thought was missing from this programme, there was no Barbra Streisand.
No, I know.
Just 5 minutes of Barbra Streisand.
I know.
Would have really elevated it to a 10, maybe.
Well, not even that, but the programme itself was 57 minutes long. Yeah. 3 minutes of Barbra Streisand, you've got an hour.
Yeah. That's all you need.
You've covered all the bases. That's it, you've ticked all the boxes. As far as I'm concerned, 3 minutes of Barbra Streisand, that was me done.
Now, next week, I think Paul's released again. We'll be doing the new Magnum PI. I can't wait.
Oh, you are Paul's care in the community now, are you?
Yeah, I have to sign him out and sign him back in at the end of the night.
Oh, right, okay. But you're doing Magnum?
Magnum, 2018 Magnum.
I know, Higgins only died last year, didn't he?
Oh, I thought he died ages ago.
No, I think it was only last year. Tom Selleck's still going, though.
Yeah.
Richard.
Well, the one who played Higgins, I know him best as Monocle in Tales of the Gold Monkey, but...
Oh, yeah. yes, absolutely. I remember that well. But, no, I used to love Magnum. But
which flavour?
Yeah. The classic.
The classic, of course.
Or, having said that, I do like the caramel one with the double chocolate and caramel.
That is nice.
Yeah, that is. But, no, I shall leave you. I shall leave you and... Paul to inform the listener.
Yes. Yeah. I've re-established the chalkboard now.
Oh, absolutely. So you've got some good ones up there.
Yeah.
You've got some.
Look down the bottom.
Oh no! Oh, listener, you have a treat coming for you. Oh no, there is. Oh. Oh, I shall let you keep your powder dry, but there's 3 or 4 on there that I really, really loved. There's about 3 on there that I've never heard of.
Yeah, I like to keep it fresh.
Yeah.
The trouble is, all these I've heard of and probably have seen.
Oh no.
That's the worrying.
And you're voluntarily going back?
I'm going back.
Oh. Well,
the chalkboard of destiny.
You're a braver man than I.
Yeah. Though I think we will change a few bits and pieces as we go along.
Yeah.
I still can't get the Love Boat up there because Paul has definitely vetoed it.
Oh no, he's blackballed it.
Yeah, he's blackballed the Love Boat and the Love Boat The Next Wave. 2 programmes. I thought I've got them. Yeah, I've got them there to watch, and he's just
no, he's not having it. No, he has. He's no taste.
And a couple on there I haven't.
Or perhaps he has got taste.
Yeah, a couple I've got that I haven't put up because I thought you might want to come in and do a couple more.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I'm going for that.
You say it before you see the programmes.
I reserve judgment. I might be leaving the country.
Yeah. If you think the Love Boat got vetoed, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So that'll be me on the Love Boat next time, won't it?
Yeah. Until next time.
Bye bye.
I gotta pack my bags and go. Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more. What you say? Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more.